The here we go is not there yet of Modric to Milan. There's been already the here we go of TG Reijnders to Manchester City from AC Milan, around 70 millions. The Modric topic, it is very fascinating because once again helps to split the community of Milanistas in two sides, 50-50. I read the comments below my last video yesterday. I read the comments over the post I did here on YouTube. And yes, some fans, they like the idea of Modric to Milan because he can bring experience. We play only one times a week, so he got time to recover. He can become a little bit of a maestro in the midfield and help also the other players around. On the other side, you have a little bit more dramatic, of course, where they say that he's a 40 years old, coming to Milan. He just coming to selling the jersey, coming to Milan is not a top club anymore. So he comes just because of having the World Cup next year and want to have a club where he can still play now at a top level in Europe. In Europe, well, top level in the leagues, of course, not in Europe, as we know. In Europe as a European competition, but instead of going to Saudi Arabia just for that. Now, the biggest mistake that Milan fans can do in this situation is to think that we selling Reijnders, but we are buying Modric. That's the biggest mistake that we have to clarify right away, because there are two very different players and the two operation has a completely different meaning. TG Reijnders went to Manchester City because that is a classic business from Redbird, buying a player 18 to 25 million, 2 years for TG Reijnders, MVP. 2 years he was already MVP of the Serie A in 2 years. This season was the MVP of Serie A. He scored something like 18 goals, 17 goals in the all competitions. He's really, really, really great player and has to be sold because it's an opportunity for Redbird to make some money. And over this process, of course, you have people they still think that Milan, it is a Milan of early 2000, or it's a Milan of the 90s, where the actual players that they are a prospect, that they are the best midfielder in Serie A, they are a great investment, likes to stay in Milan, you will keep him. You will make sure to keep him very close instead of selling it. That's what a serious club will do. Instead, now we're just selling it. We're just giving away. We did in the past with Tonali, simply because Newcastle asked Tonali, and we gave him. Not because Milan needed. Milan financially, it's fine, was fine. Especially because you use those 40, 50 millions to buy Musa, Chukwueze, and Loftus-Cheek. So, on the other hand, of course, you have people that let me finish to say. So that is a very classic deal of Redbird. Luka Modric comes to Milan for a couple of reasons. First of all, it is a business that they was not expecting to do. It is a business that the Tare maybe had a contact, maybe he knew something about Luka Modric, and he believed that he can bring a little bit of expertise, a little bit of experience into a midfield that is going to be pretty much rebuilt, because we need some new midfielder where Luka Modric can help to grow, of course. That's the vision. There are two very different operations. Luka Modric is also a player that is going to help this club to hype a lot of fans to buy the new jersey, because they didn't sell many jersey. They did not sell many jersey after the protest that we made. It was people were accused to buy a new jersey, like don't give them any more money, which is I fully agree with them. And in this situation, they didn't sell many jerseys. And now having Modric right away is gonna be perfect because he's a free agent. He wants to come to Milan. Yes, on the sport perspective, he can give a little bit more of help to the midfield, and on the other hand, he can help the fans to buy the jersey and also to buy the seasonal tickets. Okay, that makes a lot of sense for the club. Now the community, it is split. Like for example, here my friend the 90, where is it? 94 mass, where it says, where is it? People glazing Modric in a comment just saying that Milan is no longer a big club mentality. Normally we buy, Chelsea rejects, but now it's time for a step up. 14 years old that Real Madrid doesn't want anymore. He wants to join Milan only because of the World Cup in 2026. 1 year and then he moves on. Nobody cares anymore about Milan history, fans and tradition. It's 2025, it's not 1995. Everyone is a Real or a Barca fan. Oh man, luckily not. It's very, very rare for players who plays in La Liga to do well in Serie A. Especially at 40 years old, I'm not confident Modric is a good signing for Milan. A purchase like Modric now always tastes a little bit like desperation for me. His salary will be very high, but his performance. I know a lot of football stories which started like that and ended in relation dramas with a lot of debts. Well, let's think positive. Have a nice evening. On the post, on the other side, you have people more positive saying 39 years old and he will be our best players. For those who don't follow Real Madrid, fans are really upset he's leaving because he contribute a lot even this year and can still perform well. If we get him, he will be essential for the growth of the young midfielders and increase our low mentality. I hope the rest of the squad won't be old, so we could build a balanced team. For his age, he's still a reliable player. Sure, I'm happy. Last time we brought a senior, we won the league the following season. So hell yeah. And the PR move. We sold the best midfielder in the league and one of the best in the world to get a player who will contribute for 1 year. I wouldn't mind signing him if he wasn't replacing TG. I think he's not replacing TG, Valentin. I don't think he's actually replacing TG. As I mentioned, it's a deal. It's a deal that we found on the road, and I personally I don't have an opinion on this. Is old Rossonero excited about Luka Modric to Milan? No, I don't excited. I'm not. Don't get excited anymore for this. One player means nothing. We say that a million of times. We saw the season that in this club right now you can take Messi and Ronaldo prime. Things will not change. Even Guardiola, things will not change. Now, I have a little bit more of hope now that we have what I believe he is doing a great, at least a serious sport director with a coach that knows a lot about football and a lot about Italian football specifically. So a little bit more of trust, surely it is reinstored in Old Hard Rossonero. Old Hard Rossonero that you know guys, he always, I'm talking about myself in third person. That's pretty weird. But anyway, I always look a little bit forward. I look always why the club is doing certain things. Of course, it's very scary to see that whoever comes from Europe, Chelsea City, you name it, they come to Milan to buy, we will give them. Okay, because to me, the best player, you have to keep them, as like a little bit what Inter did. You think that Lautaro, Barella, Thuram, they didn't have offer from others teams, of course they had, but because they trust in the project, so they stay there and they raise the salary of this player, they keep them, they make their capitano. We don't do this anymore. We don't, as soon as a player become special, perfect time to sell it, because time he has a bad season, the price goes down. A little bit what Theo Hernandez is doing now, a little bit what's happened with Rafa Leao. Okay. I have a thoughts, however, on if Milan will sell all our best player. If we really sell all our best player, I think they're trying to cash out before leave. If they really sell Mike, if they really sell, especially Rafa, we don't know yet, but if they decide to sell Rafa, I think they are trying to cash out, because they start to understand that maybe, especially Redbird, which is is a 99% of owner, maybe the investment is not worth the time, because they were expecting other things, especially under the aspect of San Siro. But if San Siro is not gonna work out for several reasons, and maybe they see that it can become a risk investment, they might try to cash out before leaving. We will see, guys. There is a little bit of hope, but to reach that hope, we have to sell all our best players. My God. I wish nobody to become a Milan fan, man. It's just suffering. Living in the past. I hope that a new guy from Saudi Arabia or Qatar, wherever he's from, grew up in the 90s, like me, has to have the same age, and decide to actually to buy AC Milan in full and really bring it back to the top. I can give you help. If you're watching, I can give you help on that. Now, that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what do you think down below in the comments. Have a good one. Ciao, forza al diavolo.